Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I'm looking at her website, just looked again and saw a line of copy that resonates with me. I'm going to share it before I even introduce her because I think it relates to all of us. You have everything you need to be everything you need to be. And what pilots my life is this phrase, and it's the same as that. All I need is within me now. All I
Yes.
need is within me now. It's all there. We got it all there. Unfortunately, you can't always find it. It's there, but to find it and define it, you need somebody to help you with that,
Yeah.
specifically a coach. And that's what she does and fills an interesting niche. She coaches for transitioning military and veteran women. And she's one of them. And she joins us today. Renea Jones Hudson is on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I'm so excited to be here again with you.
Wonderful to have you back here. And we're going to center today on call it the invisible wounds of a military or veteran female, what they're dealing with. And it might not be what you think it is for maybe other people in the military, maybe men in the military. So where do you want to start with that?
So like I served for over 20 years and we've discussed that. And but some of the challenges, like you mentioned, there are wounds that most people can see, right? We know about the PTSD, we know about the physical ailments, combat wounds, but what most when I would say, especially speaking from my perspective, the challenges that I face at times is just not getting um that full acceptance that I was a soldier or I am a veteran, female veteran. And most recently, one of the questions I was asked or the statement that was made was, you don't look like a veteran.
Hmm.
And I've been in several Facebook groups where this is a struggle or an issue that we face because myself, I'm a dual military. My husband and I both served, and many times
Hmm.
over, we both have the same ID card, the same color ID card.
Wow.
But no, when I present my ID card, the assumption is that my husband served, right? And I have to say, no, I'm the veteran. So I'm always having to validate or, put throw in, yes, I contributed too,
Yeah.
I serve too, so that is the one of the challenges that we face. And it I talk about it in a light form, but it is huge for many women. And it, especially when you're seeking care and you get that kind of feedback from someone, it's offensive and it's annoying, right?
Oh, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
there's so many things that can come up. Like you don't look like you're tough enough to be in the military.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like, shut up.
Yes, yes. Or you must have had an easy job, or what did you do, And the question, so when I start really calling off or saying the things that I've done, like I served 13 years enlisted, and then I did another 8.5 as an officer. And as an enlisted soldier, I was a preventive med specialist, which I did a lot more support. I did teaching, I did briefing, because we were supporting the overall wellness of the force. So we've been in situations like I myself have been in situations where I would have never chosen to be in on my own. But my biggest thing is we all have a role, we all play a part, and it's not to like minimize the contributions women have, how we've supported the military, and this is not just today. There are women who have been who disguise themselves as men to support the force. And so those women from way back, they paved the way for us so that we can do this without hiding. We no longer have to hide.
Right, right. So what are some of the other things that military women deal with? Now, certainly it's across the board. It could be things like PTSD. What are some of
Yeah.
the other things that they deal with?
So like simple things like just being a mom, right?
Mm,
So I'm a dual military plus I'm at the time my daughter wasn't born yet, but my son he was in high school. He played football. He was very good. His dad traveled a lot with his job. So I'm running a company and I still had to make sure I'm there to support him with his issues. There were times I've even missed, I think I missed his sixth and seventh um sixth and seventh grade years. I missed moments in his lives where his dad had to send me pictures of him, getting his certificate and stuff like that. So just to bring it down to a much simpler level, the memories that we could have doing, seeing milestones, seeing them go through different stages in life, we that gets taken away too. And I understand because a lot of people say, oh, but it's a volunteer force. Yes, I volunteer for that, but this is still part of what I had to do. This is still part of my sacrifice, being a volunteer. So like I said, just simple things like
mm.
that, being able to take him to different, seeing his taking him to prom, first girlfriend, all those simple things, like, and that came up for me because on Tuesday I was able to go to a concert with my daughter. So I have a 10-year-old and a 24-year-old, and they have lived different lives with the same
Mm,
parents. My
yeah.
24-year-old knows the military. My 10-year-old has no experience. My 24-year-old has not lived with his parents all the time. Sometimes he lived with other family members for maybe a year and a half. My daughter has never been without us. So, no, even that dynamic.
This is the stuff we don't realize with military
No,
families. Did you meet your husband in the military?
I did.
You did.
So
Okay.
we met in 1995 and we got married that no, we met in 1996, got married in 1997. So 6 months after I met him, we got married. It was
Wow.
really quick.
Wow.
It was really quick.
So I have to ask, when you retired from the military, what was your biggest challenge?
So my biggest challenge was I didn't know what I wanted to do. I honestly was like, I knew I wanted to get out. And it wasn't because of a bad experience or anything. I just needed to do something different.
It was time to move on.
Yeah, but when I got out, I really didn't have something specific that I wanted to do. So that's what led me to using what I already knew I was good at, which is fitness. I had been an athlete all my life. I was a swimmer, I ran
Hmm.
track, then I bodybuild. So I used all of that plus my leadership skills from the military and I opened up a fitness studio, which it was, it was good, but it was still like, there's just something else that I want to do. But I found part of what I wanted to do while I was personal training and just talking to the clients. I realized, oh, this is the part that I love doing, like talking them through their challenges. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that is, but I like doing that. So the pandemic just really solidified what that was for me because I started getting coaching and I was like, my coach was like, you should really do this. Like, you yourself should really be a coach. And I was like, huh, never thought about that. But that's where it came up. That's where it was born.
Isn't it interesting that those things are all in you, but sometimes it takes moments to bring them out?
Yes.
Have you ever taken a strength assessment test?
Yes.
Have you done that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've taken the disc. I've taken the are you familiar with the Enneagram?
Not that one. No.
Oh, you should
Yeah,
take
write
that
that down. What?
one. Yeah, the Enneagram. It's Enneagram.
Give me that one more time. Actually, writing it down.
Enneagram.
All right. Definitely
Yeah.
check that out.
And
Hmm.
then I've taken the Myers-Briggs. I like taking those personality tests a bit. to be honest with you,
Yeah,
because I think it helps. It's one of those things too. It helps you kind of look inward. Some of them you're like,
100%.
no, I'm not like that. But then if you really think about it, right? You're
100%.
like, hmm,
100%. Yep.
maybe I am.
Well, this is why I bring it up. The things that you realize in yourself based on these. I took the Clifton Strength
Okay.
assessment. Uh, it identifies 34 strengths. I took it 2 months ago, barely 2 months ago. I'm on the board of the Girl Scouts and they suggested for a retreat, y'all take this test. So, all right, let's do it. I didn't really think much of it. I'm like, yeah, I'm laying in bed. It's late. I'm like, yeah, it's like 30 minutes online. I'm just holding my phone,
Yeah.
getting it done. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then I look at the results. The number one thing that comes back is communication. So
Mhm.
kind of no surprise there.
And
That's what
look at you now.
I've been
Yes.
doing that since I was 17.
Yeah.
Still am.
Yeah.
But the wake up was the number two strength was empathy. And I'm like,
Wow.
what? Now I knew it was kind of high up there, but what that did for me is made me realize that I need to be careful because I expend a lot of my energy for
Yes.
others and not
Yes.
to myself. And
Yeah.
I'm the one that will say, "Oh, Renee, do you know you're an empath? I could see it
Yes.
in you." Meanwhile, I'm not realizing that I I
Yes.
can't believe it was
Yes.
that high. So that was a
Yes.
wake up. You know, Need
Yeah.
to kind of reel it in and just be a little more careful, protective of my
Yeah.
energy and things like that. But then I'm still wrestling with this one. I have to go back and you can look deeper into all of these tests.
Hmm.
Um, Competitiveness was low in terms of his strength. And I'm like, ow, that hurt. Yeah,
Well, you know what? I do believe this. I believe where you are in life also plays a part in the results on those tests,
for
right?
sure.
It may
Mm,
not be that
you're
your
right.
competitiveness is low. It may be just that that's you've developed in those other two areas, right? Where you said yes, communication number one, but you might have just really improved significantly in that area. Doing it at 17 and doing it now is, that's a lot of development that you've gone through and everything. So I do believe at the time that your emotions at the time, your vibration at the time that you're taking these tests does matter too.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
yeah. So
Mm.
maybe at that
You're
time,
right. Thank you for saying that because now things are coming clear.
yeah,
And uh, yeah, personal life situation, I focus a little bit more in some areas
yeah,
lately, and that may be why empathy was number two at that
yeah,
moment. If 5 years ago, if I took it, out of 34, it might be floating at 15,
yeah,
whatever. So,
yeah.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
I
but
never
that's
thought
why
of
I
that.
like taking those things because it gets you to think. It gets you to like really look at yourself more, look deeper within yourself. The Enneagram was one that was really powerful to me because it gives you your highs and your lows, who you are at your highest and who you are at your lowest, the
Sure.
things that you may do. And that was so revealing. And I was like, ooh, this. I don't think I like this low version of me,
Right.
but you get to see it and you get to now so you know how to manage it. You know how to, raise your who you are from that level. So that's why I like these tests. I'm not saying that they're, pinpoint dead on correct, but I feel like majority of the times they are on point.
I agree. And you provide extra insight. And what I really need to do, and it's sitting on my nightstand, is a book that comes with it. And I'll look at it, and it's like getting close to bedtime. I'm like, it's too deep. I got to go
Yeah.
back. Yeah, I need to dig back in.
Which
Uh,
is why the competitiveness may be low because you're too relaxed right now. Like, you're like, I'm
no,
chilling.
no, I'm not. I'm too tired from being an
Yeah,
empath.
yeah.
That's what it is. I
Yeah,
need to flip those around. Bring one
yeah,
strength up, bring another
yeah,
one down.
yeah.
What when you're working with somebody, how does the process actually work? Is it you go on a fact-finding mission, find out what their life is like now, what their hopes are, what their dreams are, what their everybody's got a different mode of operation. How does it work?
So what I do, and this is something I had to learn to do, I started out talking too much in my coaching sessions. So the person never got a chance to tell me what they really wanted. So, and I learned that just by, taking reviews afterwards, what was good, what wasn't good, what could I improve. And so, and then with my own coaching, I've learned to listen more. So I still have sometimes it's still a challenge because I want to jump right in sometimes. 'Cause oh, I can fix that. But so I take some time and I listen. Plus, before they even get to me for that first session, I have an onboarding where I have some questions, right? And sometimes I even send them pre-work, right? And then they send me that back and I review that and then we talk about what's on that form. We talk about I ask them what are the three things you want to tackle right now, and then we'll start digging into those things.
Hmm. The talking too much is not you not listening, it's you wanting to help.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
I get it. I'm part of a men's group, joined like 13 weeks ago.
yeah,
And when one of the men has a challenge or a situation, I'm like, well, have you ever? And
yes,
then they look at me and it's like, we don't give advice. That's one of the rules. We don't give advice.
yeah.
And you need to wait till somebody's done and say the word complete. But I just want to help.
Yes, I know. I know. It gets me in trouble all the time because you're just always ready. I can help that. I can fix that for you. And that's the other thing. Like I can help you get something done. And if I can't, it's usually I'm in a position where I can find the resource for you even if I don't have it. So,
Mm,
that's I love doing the coaching piece because it helps me grow and it helps me to find, to better myself, learn more. Like someone presents a challenging question to me, if they do, I'm like, oh, let me look that up, let me research that, let me find this,
yep.
the right solution. So you're
Yeah.
always learning.
It's good for you and for the other person. And I'm just gonna say that somebody else is an empath too here.
Yeah. No.
I'm just,
Yes. I
I,
know. I figured that out maybe 2 years ago. Didn't know what that was. And I was like, but I was talking to another coach and I'm like, okay, perfect example. The concert we went to on Tuesday night with my daughter.
mhm.
Whew, it was so much. I literally, when I got home, I showered and went straight to bed. I was drained. I was
Now, how
so
come? How do you mean?
because it was so much because I had never heard of this group. It's a they're called ITZY. My daughter my
Hmm.
daughter friend, it's a K-pop group. The concert was good, but it was so much like, and because I'm usually like a high energy person, but I think it just was over the top for me, and I'm not very big on crowds anyway. And I think what was
Mm,
exhausting, so here's another challenge that we go through as veterans. I know I do. I
mm.
won't claim it for every veteran, but I know it was in the Fox Theater, and um the exits, I just kept looking. I was like, okay, this is not going to be good if all of that. I was just working too hard.
Yep.
So
Oh, I got it. I totally understand it. Now
I
that
was
you're,
just, I
yeah,
was tired.
totally get it. And it's the energy. Like that's
Yes.
whether people believe it or not, it is my belief that everything is energy. We're all energy. Why do we
Yes.
like going to live events or live music?
I
Is
don't.
I do because I love the energy in the room
Yeah.
of everybody experiencing something at the same time, but
Yeah.
it can be draining.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. And of course, like you said, if you're
Yeah.
wired in a way that you're looking at things just,
Yes, you
like the
see too
exits.
much. Yeah. And
Yeah,
let me correct that because I do like the proximity, but I think in that setting, that is not my setting. Like I can do it if we're like in a meet like a hotel room, a ballroom, or I feel like that's so much more controlled than a concert, like where
I get it.
you have no control over anything. It's like,
And I'm getting visuals now of even being at a venue where
yes,
there's just lines of people and you're waiting, and it's
yes,
like you're just like
yes. I'm
bottled
in
up.
the middle row, in the middle of the row where
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
yeah. I'm right
so
there with you. Or sitting in traffic leaving the venue.
yes.
That's another like
And
mm,
that was also an experience because right as I thought they were done, I went and I got my daughter and her friend, and the other parent was like, let them have the experience. I said, we can have the experience standing right here by the exit. So
yeah.
I was, so she was like, no, just let them stay. And I'm like, ah.
You know, sometimes what you think is not really the reality, really a quick story. So I took my daughter, who's 16, to Taco Bell. Still loves Taco Bell. Like she's 3 times a week. So dad, don't cook. Anyway,
Oh,
so
don't feel bad.
we're online and the person in front of me is like ordering. I'm hearing, it's like, give me 12 chalupas and this and that. I'm looking and she's like over $100 on the board. Like, so finally get up, about to order. They say, can you hold on a minute? Sure. Waiting. And I'm thinking because they have to fulfill her order,
Mhm.
of like 50 people. And I'm waiting. And finally, I get to place my order. Then I move up. There she is at the window. And now she's getting all of her stuff. And I'm sitting there like, to my daughter, like, really? Like, wait, it's like, come on. Like, just want to get something to eat here.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
up to the window. She drove forward. I get up to the window. And the person at the window says, oh, yeah, the car in front of you, they paid for you. And they want you to
Oh,
pay it forward. And I was
yeah.
like, duh. and,
The
and
ugly look, like, oh.
yes, like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. And I look at my daughter and we're like, but I don't know if she saw us like,
Your
what's
look,
going on?
yeah,
Or she just wanted to pay it forward, or I don't know what it was, but it was a moment where it was like,
yeah,
have patience. It's okay.
yeah,
A lot of times we just get,
yes,
frustrated
yes,
and I have to
yeah,
pay it forward today. That's
yeah,
that's part of my
yeah,
list of things to do. But
yeah.
yes, and you don't know until you know. It was just kind
You
of a wake up,
don't. That's
and
true.
your daughter and friends, whatever, um, got the experience. Got the
Yeah, they
experience.
did. They did. I'm happy they did too.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? Like you said at the start today, it's those moments you will never get back again.
Right,
So the moments that you
right.
lost out on,
Yes,
due to,
yes,
the military and your
yeah,
son, right?
yeah,
Now we got to savor them,
yeah.
as uncomfortable as they are. And I get it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like you're a
My
sardine in a can.
Yeah, my son, like, cause now my daughter gets to travel everywhere we go. She goes everywhere with us. So
Sure.
she loves a hotel stay. She loves a plane ride. And my son, he said to us the last time, because we traveled to Jamaica in April, and he was like, "When are we gonna do a family trip where I can be a part of it?" I'm like, "Well, you're the 24-year-old who always turns us down. The 10-year-old has no choice."
Yeah, right, right.
I was like, but I'm like, you're always welcome, but he's always busy too. And I was like, but I know what that is, he just feels like he's never around us, and we're so used to, like, we like being, funny enough, we like being around each other. So and it's enjoyable. So it's like he kind of feels left out. But I'm like, we're gonna plan a trip and everybody's gonna go, and you have to be available.
Well, why don't you put it on him and say, okay, all right,
That's what we did. We
some
had him plan.
suggestions. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
and Jamaica, fantastic. Wagwan.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
that
no,
means? Wagwan?
nothing, nothing, nothing.
Nothing. Wagwan. Translation here means what's going on in Pate, or I don't know how you say it right, but
Yeah,
anyway, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Patois. Maybe it's patois. I don't know, whatever.
Patois. We say
Patois.
patois. Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah,
Love Jamaica.
yeah.
How do we find you? If somebody is a military woman, veteran, whatever the case may be, how do they reach out to you?
Well, I am on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on LinkedIn, TikTok at Renee Jones Hudson. And then my email is contact@reneejoneshudson.com. And my website is www.reneejoneshudson.com. And that's Renee, Renea, Jones Hudson, all one word.
Thank you for today. Love talking with you.
You as
Appreciate what you
well.
do and
Thank you.
what you do for the women in our military who don't have as many resources as the rest of us in terms of
Yeah.
coaching. And that's why you are our professional of the year. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon,
Thank
okay?
you. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.